Okay, so I'm just gonna repeat it. Thank you guys for being here. We're just gonna go over making thank you cards virtually, and I'll show you some websites I have pulled up on how to do that. You're also welcome to make them physically if you would like. If we were in person, we would have paper and stuff, but this is online. And then while we make our own, I figured we could just talk about who we're making cards for and anyone in our lives that has been affected by the pandemic or worked throughout the entire pandemic. Okay, so let me share my screen and figure out how to get to the right. Okay, so the first website is it's called 123 Greetings, and it does do a lot of pop-up ads, which can be annoying. Uh, okay, so this seems like a lot, but it's pretty simple. This can be used for pretty much any kind of card that you would need. So if you needed like a birthday card, a get well soon card, it literally celebrates all of those national days as well. So like Earth Day, April Showers Day. They have like National Nurse Day on here too. Um, so any kind of card you ever think you would need, it's on here. We're gonna do thank you cards. So you can access them multiple ways, but you can go to thank you here, which is just thank you cards, or you can also go up to e-cards and it does basically the same thing where it drops down and gives you a bunch of options. So we're just gonna go to the thank you tab. And the way this works is that you pick a type of card that you want to send. So they give you a lot of options. They do birthday thank yous, everybody thank yous, wedding and anniversaries, lovable thank yous, congratulations. So like, thank you volunteers. They do really cute ones. Personally, my preference is like animal cards because animals are cute. And who doesn't love like a little puppy saying thank you? So um, I'm gonna do the cat with the guitar, to be honest. And it comes with music. And you can change the music. A lot of their options are horrible, personally, in my opinion. I think they just sound weird. Like if you play around with them, I don't know. They just sound weird. So I don't know. Their default is fine. So if you want to change the music, you can. If you like some weird country violin, that's one of the options. And then what you'll do is do customize and send this e-card and exit out of the ads that keep popping up. And then you'll do sender details. So I put myself in here as an example. And so this is who's sending it. So this would be you and your email. It's like mine is my school email. If you're sending it to anyone outside of school, we recommend using your school email so it's more official. And then if you know anyone who you're sending it to, so like if you sent it to your mom or your family or your friends, you could use a personal email, whichever your preference is. And then you can write a cute little note like, thank you for all that you do. And this is where, like, if you were sending it to someone specific, you could add more information. So if it was like someone you know that has worked through the whole pandemic, you could add more information about what they've experienced, or if you wanted to write like a heartfelt note, and then you can edit it like you would a normal piece of paper, or a normal message with all the extra stuff. And then this is who you're sending it to. So um, I'm just going to send it to myself as an example, and I'll send it to my personal email and address. Okay, so I guess if you wanted to add a second person, you could. And then you can also schedule it. So if you didn't want to do it today, or if you wanted to do it in the future, like Mother's Day is coming up. So if you randomly wanted to make an online Mother's Day card and schedule it for Mother's Day. And then I'm going to unclick subscribe because I don't need those in my email. I don't need them to remember my details. And then I have read and agree. So, oh no, please wait. Okay, cool. And then you have the option to send it to someone else. You can share it on Facebook, exit out of the ads, and you can do other ones as well. So this is a pretty cool website. Um, and it gives you a lot of options. A lot of ads, but that's okay. But yeah, that's what I do. And then let me see, move the Zoom stuff around. The other website I wanted to share was Canva. Okay, I have it open for a project. So Canva is a free website. I signed in with my UNCC account, and you can use it to create a bunch of different things. I know people use it for school projects, like I'm making a brochure for one of my classes, and you can use it for apparently Instagram posts. You can make a resume. Oh no, there it is. You can do a card on here. I don't know if you can print this out, but like the other website, it comes with a bunch of different templates. So like happy birthdays, thank you cards. Oh my god, they have a cat one again. That's so cute. Sorry guys, animals are my weakness. Um, that's a Christmas card, not a thank you card. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so this is a really cool website as well. You can upload your own photos, add your own videos. You can add music to it as well, and create whatever kind of card you're looking for. As far as sharing it, I know you can print it. There's an option right here. I think for sharing it, uh, it ends up sending a link, and then I am not exactly. Oh, cool! You can download it too. So most likely you could download it as like a PDF and then send it to people through email or post it on social media. Okay, so those are just two ideas of websites you can use. I recommend the 123 greetings if you are not creative like me and just want something already created. And then you can write out more rather than working on designing it. But yeah. So, do we all want to work on creating one ourselves? And then, would anyone like to share anything about um, people that have worked through the pandemic and who they would like to say thank you to? I can go first if you'd like. I think for me, when we were talking about this topic, the first thing that came to my head was nurses, mostly because my mom is a nurse and she works with Novant Health. And just throughout the entire pandemic, a lot of nurses kind of just got screwed. Their job is already hard, but they had an influx of patients and just round the clock stress. And so I know my mom, she works, oh, I forget what it's called. I think it's called med surge. It's like after they get treated, they stay there for like 2 to 3 days. And so they had a COVID unit, and uh, at the beginning of the pandemic, one of the biggest stressors for them was the people who denied that the pandemic was real, because it reduced the amount of help that they were getting. So the hospital she worked at was slow to react. They didn't hire extra help, and they didn't get a lot of supplies for their nurses. So at one point, I know she was telling me they were telling them to go into COVID rooms without PPE, which is personal protection equipment. And they all, like, all the nurses got together and were like, heck no, like, there's no way in hell, because you can't tell them to go into an infectious disease ward without stuff, but they weren't getting the stuff because people didn't believe it was real and hospitals were slow to react. So it was definitely stressful. There was a lot of mandatory overtime, which for nurses, then she normally works like 36 hours a week, so 3 12-hour shifts, and she works night shift, so that's even worse. And so to have to do another night each week was just insane. So it was a lot. I'm glad it has finally slowed down with the vaccines and everything. She said they haven't seen a COVID case in weeks. So it's been great. But nurses were my first thought because they went through a lot of stress and a lot of hell. Sorry to curse, but they went through a lot, um, and probably did not get the recognition that they deserve. So that's what I was thinking about.
First of all, I cannot believe that many people were overworked, and give your thanks to your mom for, I'm sure, all of us. That's definitely a lot to go through. I was thinking about making my cards for professors, just because as many of y'all know, like especially Dr. Chiarella, she's had a lot going on in her own personal life, yet she has been very helpful to go ahead and lead us in the right direction and provide any resources and connections as she can. And while teaching several classes, and several other professors that I've had have kept really upbeat and made a lot of jokes in class, even though it's all Zoom silence for them. And I definitely think that a lot of them could use just a little thank you for keeping their spirits up, to keep our spirits up.
Yeah, I completely agree, Ethan. And for them to have to switch to online teaching, like one of my professors had taught in person for 20 years. That was a big change.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite professors, he started every class with a meme because he knew we were all stressed. So he would have like cat memes on his laptop, and that's what he would share with us just to start class.
I love
Professors are definitely a different breed, man.
it.
They're great. Thanks, Ethan.
Okay, so I have also an idea of people who worked through the pandemic. Construction workers. You've got the people who were, continuing to work on the roads, bridges, development. These people are not only putting stress on their bodies, but they're living through a pandemic and having to work with people close knit, even with a mask on, which typically they're wearing anyway because debris and you don't want that stuff in your lungs. They're still in precarious situations, and I think it's important to acknowledge, yeah, we had an amazing array of essential workers, but I don't really feel like construction workers are individuals that have been brought up often or even acknowledged on any platform I have seen personally. Just an idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. Honestly, I don't know why, but I didn't think about that. They did keep doing government projects throughout the entire pandemic. Yeah. That makes me think of food workers too. Like, it never phased me, but I work at in a food service restaurant and we just never closed. And like a lot of the food places I know around here just never closed. So, which is good because we got to keep our jobs and I appreciate that. But it was also difficult dealing with customers who just kept coming, even though there were like limitations and you're not supposed to be out unless you're food shopping or something. But it was always interesting. And then many people don't wear masks in drive-throughs, which is it makes sense. I mean, the idea makes sense, but you're also still in close contact. And we were told, because Chick-fil-A, we take orders outside. We were told stay 6 feet away from the cars, but that doesn't make sense when you're trying to take payments or when people speak very low. So that's interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of people that just kept working throughout the pandemic. Thanks, Mandy. I appreciate that. That's a good perspective. Okay. Would anyone else like to share? Or I am okay with stopping recording and then we'll just work on thank you cards. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.